Well, it was definitely a better effort tonight. But as the chat is already starting to tell me, the Auddie curse continues. It's alive and well, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon, apparently. Welcome to Game Over Calgary. My name is Auddie James. We're going to break down whatever the heck we just saw tonight, I guess. Lots to talk about. It was a game in which some good things happened, some bad things happened. It was really the meme of "we back, it's so over. We're back, it's so over," and that was kind of the Calgary Flames night tonight. But my name is Auddie James, as I mentioned, joined making his debut for this season of Game Over Calgary was a regular guest last year. My pal Shane Stevenson, you know him as Flash over from FlamesNation. My brother, how are you doing tonight, good sir?
I'm happy-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, like the Flames keep losing. A couple of my bets hit. I said the Stars were going to win, and there was going to be less than 7.5 goals. So start right there. That worked out.
I smoked my parlay tonight as well too. I
So
had Stars money line. It was a 3-leg parlay. Stars money line, anytime point from Jason Robertson, and over 1.5 shots from Jamie Benn. So we both made a couple bucks. Put some jingle in our jeans tonight, didn't we?
you betcha. And we got to watch the as fellow guest James Johnson has stated on Twitter, the best Connor in Alberta. So
That's
we are,
right.
we are good, and the vibes. The kids are all right. The team sucks, but the kids are good.
Yeah. It's it's sorry, I'm just catching up with some of the chat right now. But yeah, the vibes tonight are equal parts good and bad. We're gonna break the whole thing down. But before we do, just some housekeeping as we get into this stream tonight. Save your questions for the end. We will round them all up for the presser. If you guys have your questions for myself, for Shane, anything about the Flames, anything at all, be sure to save those for the end, and I will give a call out for some questions, and we will answer them at the end of the show. In addition to that, like the stream, help us out. Let's get that YouTube algorithm thing going. Like it, subscribe to SDPN, share it with your friends, share it with your coworkers, your grandmother, your cousin, your neighbor, your dog. I don't care who. Share it, and let's get some more cool people in here tonight. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, I was up in Edmonton for the Heritage Classic. I came back down. I started seeing these signs posted around Calgary, and I actually ended up grabbing one. One of these signs. It's weird. It's like they're all over Calgary in southern Alberta right now. These missing signs. I don't know if you can read that, but it looks like some things are missing. For those listening on playback, sorry to hear, but you can watch it on YouTube after the fact. But yeah, have you seen these around, Flash?
Is that $1 billion reward?
That's a $1 billion reward.
Is that $1 billion that someone can
Straight
find
out of
where the hell the $10.5 million man went? And
that's how much the Flames are willing to pay to find this guy. Look at this.
Yeah, $1 billion just to get his game back. And you know, I do have a comment on that. There's this video that's been going around on the internet recently of a video where Huberdeau had 2 goals and 3 assists against the Leafs. Jay Fresh shared it, and I gotta say, the similarities in that game and what he's doing it's not that different.
No, it's not.
The problem is he stopped moving his feet in the neutral zone. He won't skate. He used to get the puck, make a move, get in the middle, and that's what I liked about Nazem Kadri tonight. He would enter the zone through the middle of the ice. Now, the commenters on the X machine were right. He doesn't pass the puck. He shoots it, goes right to the goalie's chest, and it kills the entire play. So all that good is undone in 2 seconds. But Huberdeau, man, that clip, when he had his most success, it's because he was entering the zone through the middle of the ice, not the boards, and making plays. And that's gone. That's nowhere to be found.
No.
He's playing on just his left side of the ice, and it's miserable to watch.
It's tough, man, because we're not too far removed, and I feel like every time I talk about Jonathan Huberdeau, especially, well, I mean, even last year, the biggest fall from grace ever. literally the biggest fall from grace in National Hockey League history. But
7
I
points.
digress. You don't just lose that.
No, you don't. He was a point per game for 4 straight years. Now, 115, maybe that was definitely his ceiling. There was a few guys that hit their ceiling that year.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't just go point per game for 4 years and then lose it.
Yeah.
Right. And before that, it was not like he was putting up 50 points. He was putting up 60, 70. Like it just left. It's like it never brought it from Florida.
And you got to think.
It's not an excuse because Uyghur's turned out great. Uyghur had a hell of a game tonight.
Has he ever? He's had a great start to the year.
He had a hell of a Winter Heritage Classic, I guess I should say. And, yeah.
This doesn't quite apply to Mackenzie Uyghur.
No, it definitely applies to Jordan frickin' Osterley, but I mean, we won't. He's
God, do we ever miss Oliver Shillington right now?
Yeah.
Do we, the people, ever miss him? And I'm sure the Flames miss him.
I'll miss him probably
as well. Yeah, but yeah, let's dive into what we saw tonight. Very promising start for the Calgary Flames. It was a start of the game that I guess before we get too far into it, obviously we touched quickly on Connor Zary making his NHL debut. Dylan Dubé out of the lineup tonight. Zary gets the call up, does the rookie lap. We'll talk about his goal in a little bit here. But he slots in. Anderson returns after his serving his suspension, his 4 games for that hit on Line A. Zadorov out for family reasons, Dubé out for injury, Peltier obviously out, and Ruzicka out. So before the puck even dropped, a bit of a depleted Calgary Flames lineup coming into this one. So, yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect. Obviously, Dallas is a good team. Their record indicates it, and a lot of people, including myself, have them pegged to go pretty far this year. They are my Western Conference champion pick.
They were my cup pick last year. They were the guy. I don't hide from him. I'm usually wrong. The last time I got one right was the Blues.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only time I ever got one right. But they were my pick last year because they have they have the top end talent up front. They've got the number 1 center in Hintz. They've got the elite goal scorer in Robertson. They've got the top defenseman in Heiskanen and one of the best 6 goaltenders in the world, AJ Ottinger. So they have all the pieces. They have the experience. They have the youth now with like Wyatt Johnston coming in, and like they have Sam Steele now, who's a good depth guy that's young and with speed. Like they're deadly. They're dangerous. They're on top of it, and we saw it tonight in the second period. It took them next to no time and we got the lead. It was good goals.
It's kind of what I wanted to lead with in terms of the first period, before I just touched on that pregame stuff. But one of the more unorthodox Flames first periods that we've seen this season, in the sense that they controlled the pace. They controlled puck possession. They've been moving their feet. They were moving the puck well. The dome was actually kind of loud tonight in that first period. We heard some cheering. There was some fan engagement, which is something that, guys even like Julian McKenzie, who's tweeting about it earlier in the last few games about just how silent it's been in the Saddle Dome. Obviously, you posted that picture of the sad dome on Twitter there. I'll never forget that one. It's been like that for the last little while, but it was a little bit louder tonight. Flames fans had things to get up for tonight, and then we get the Connor Zary goal.
And it started early.
It did. It started early. That's I think what. Okay, so there's 2 sides of Flames fans right now and what they want to see. There's the we're still hopeful side. We're 10 games into the season. We got a pretty good litmus test of what this team is as of right now. Obviously, we're not quite at that American Thanksgiving benchmark yet, but we're starting to see some improvements. Maybe this is a team that starts to trend upward. Or you've got the other side of the coin where people want to see what we saw tonight. Some losses, some higher draft picks perhaps, and I know a lot of people are kind of on that train as well. But if you're a fan of the side where you want to see good hockey, you want to see this team compete, this was the first period for you. It was unlike anything we had ever seen this season. It was a lot of fun to watch. Would you not agree? It was some fun hockey?
I think the Zary goal did the same thing that Peltier did last year to the boys. It charged them up. Like you could see like the body language, the reaction right after everyone was giving it at extra 20%, 30% in some cases. And every time Zary got over the boards, he was just making a difference.
Mm-hmm.
One line that really struggled all along was Coronado at center with Dewar and AJ Greer.
AJ
But
Greer,
I
yeah.
mean, their ice time diminished as the game went on. So like you can't really go ahead and fault them. Coach recognized they weren't working, and every time Connor Zary stepped on the ice, he was making a difference. He was moving, playing north. He was back checking. He was actually back checking hard. That's
Mm-hmm.
the center in him, though. Like he was playing on the wing. He's played center pretty much his whole career. He actually has that. Oh, I need to get back there. I need to get my ass back and help my defense. That's been missing from a lot of other players in the lineup. And one of the players that doesn't do that very well is Dubé, and replacing him with the effort and skill that Zary showed tonight was just an instant massive improvement in their top nine.
It's
And
funny
it
you
allows
say
them to
that.
flow. It allows you to change
Mm-hmm.
on the fly and go into the attacking zone instead of the defensive zone. And for the first 20 minutes, that's what happened.
That's right.
For the first 20.
That's and it's funny you mentioned that about Dubé and the injection of Connor Zary. Good message here from Mitch saying, funny how no Dubé made the forward group look so much better. And Dylan Dubé obviously struggling this year. Just laughing at another comment, says Connor McZary. I love it. That's a good comment there. But yeah, Dylan Dubé obviously having some struggles this season. Maybe bit a little bit by the injury bug, and that's why he sits out. But, I think you tweeted it. I think a lot of people have tweeted it. Doesn't look like Connor Zary is going to be sent down or shouldn't be sent down anytime soon.
Not
That was
after
that was a damn good debut.
that dangle, man.
That was so
Who
nice.
I
Oh my God.
I mentioned, so I watch a lot of Leafs hockey. The girlfriend is a massive Leafs fan, and so I watch a lot of Leafs. I'm a big Matthews guy myself, and I watched right now William Nylander's on an absolute tear,
Mm-hmm.
and he's one of the best neutral zone puck carriers in the NHL. Period. He transitions the puck at one of the highest levels, and I watched him weave through three guys, get in. He realized his path to the net was blocked, but he didn't care. He still pushed the envelope. Now they actually closed the gap, unlike the Flames in the second period,
Mm-hmm.
but he still got the shot off, took the hit, and then rebounded. No one on the Flames is cutting off the board. So when Connor Zary went outside, inside, I don't even know who the defenseman was. I was out of my seat and almost tucked it in the backhand, if not for literally. If it was another goalie in there, not named UC Saros or Igor Shesterkin, that probably goes in. That's probably a highlight you watch on Sportsnet for the entire year. But no, it is one of the best goalies, and it stopped.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually tried something creative in a cut to the middle of the ice where it's dangerous and you can actually score goals. It was just nice to see that. Like
I think
Mangiapane, Backlund, Coleman, they kill it on the boards and down low. They don't do the huge cuts to the middle. Mangiapane was with Lindholm and Huberdeau tonight, and he found himself. Where did he score his goal from? Directly in the middle.
Right in front of the net. Yeah, right in the middle.
Right in the slot. Like that, they have hardly any shots from there this season, and so anyone willing to get there, that's partially where right now Coronado is struggling. He's not making the moves. I think he's having a bit of, like, with the lack of production, there's some confidence issues. And let's be real, they've fucking flip-flopped this guy all over the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
They have moved him everywhere.
They have.
And they need some consistency with the young man if they're going to find some success, because he does have the better shot. But anyways, back to Zary. I'm sorry, I'm on a tangent.
That's okay.
That move from Zary was something the Flames needed. It's something the fans needed to keep watching, and it energized. And you're right, he's not going anywhere after a performance like that. They couldn't get him out fast enough. He was the guy the coach was like, I want you on the ice.
He was out
his first game.
In a spot where we would have seen a guy like Milan Lucic or Trevor Lewis last year. In the dying minutes, Nick Ritchie, in the dying minutes of a 1-goal game. I think Kelly and Rick said it on the broadcast too. What a vote of confidence for the young man. Coach sends him over the boards, and he's out there for the remainder of that game. They yank the goalie 6-on-5. He's still out there.
And he was the guy making the plays.
Yeah. Like we talked about, I don't foresee him after a performance like that getting sent back anytime soon. And I'm glad you brought up where he's taking the puck. One of the things I noticed in the first goal is he's kind of the trailer on that play, right? Nobody's really covering him. And he comes from the top of the hash marks, sees a spot open on the doorstep in front of the net, and just kind of like effortlessly gets there, and then
Well,
it's just an easy little play for him to get it in the back of the net for his first.
And the funniest part about that is if his ass isn't standing there, that puck misses the net and goes around the boards and comes
That's
out.
right.
It wasn't hitting the net, it hit him in the shoulder and then fell in front of him, and he stick on the ice in front of the net like every other Canadian kid was told growing up, and boom, like quick, easy goal, boom, welcome to the NHL, man.
Good things happen.
And that's what he does. They're missing that a lot with Ruzicka. Ruzicka is one of the best on the team at actually getting to the middle of the ice and shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're missing a heck of a lot with Pelche out. He's a very talented player. He showed that last year in his spurts. His speed, I think him and Coronado pair together really well. But like the other thing I think that like they never try is these guys have AHL chemistry. Like Ruzicka, Zary, Pelche, they've all played together. You could make a line out of those three and see if it clicks whenever Pelche gets back, because he's coming back. He'll be back January maybe before then. It's not like a crazy long injury. It's gonna make him miss most of the year. So he'll be back and he'll be ready to help. And then they, and it's just more youth. It's more speed. It's more energy. When they score, they're hyped. They're glad they're there. They're not bearing the entire weight of the entire city with all the pressure on their shoulders, like the guys on your wanted poster. Like there's less pressure. Yeah, like those guys. Like I will admit, Kadri the last 3 games has picked his game up, but it's still rooted in selfishness. He
100% it is.
To take the shot, and his shots are hitting the goalies right in the chest. Like at least Zary, like I think Braden Swab commented on one of my tweets. He was like, yeah, no, at least Zary like shot it and it went, like it didn't rim around the boards on the power play. It bounced back out front, like because he shot from the middle of the ice.
Right. Good shot too.
They're finally, and these young guys are getting it. These young guys are more creative. They're faster. They're willing to take a hit, and they want it. You can see they want it more. Even in a regular season game on a Wednesday, they want it. They want the puck. They want to succeed. They want to have fun.
100%. And as much good as we saw in that first period, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, which is letting their foot off the gas in that second period. It was fucking abysmal. Abysmal.
That's on the defense, man.
100%. That's why they're on my missing poster, because the Swiss cheese. Noah Hannafin looked bad. I wasn't overly thoroughly impressed with
goal.
He
it's a defenseman's nightmare. I did it for 12 years. When you step up and you completely whiff on the puck and you have no momentum to get back and try and help you're just screwed. Like you are. And in that situation with 12 seconds left, you just have to play it safe. You have to back up. You have to keep your distant puck between you and the goalie, and he didn't do that. He tried to make a creative play, which sure, but it's not like you weren't down that much. You were down 3-2. Like, pick your spots.
Yeah.
And the D, I had a real bad opinion of Rasmus Andersson.
He did not have a good game. That was something I wanted to lead to.
That shorthanded goal that Jamie Benn scored. He's tired. He's gassed. He wants off the ice. And then he completely just lackadaisically comes in there. Like as soon as you realized you needed to go back and get that puck, go. If you're gassed, get off. Because the guy had already jumped. If you watch the clip, the guy already jumped off the bench. He was ready to go. And Anderson waves him off. Guy jumps back off. But then he just kind of floats in front of the net. And then he completely commits. And the other bad thing, absolutely nobody there to cover Ben.
No.
Like, but Anderson's just, and then afterwards he's like this, and it's like, what are you doing that? That's your fault, dude.
Yeah.
You are the primary. Markstrom was back in his net, which is after years of watching Mike Smith, something I'm not used to. So Markstrom was back in his net. He recognized that he wasn't getting that puck, and he got back, and he had no help from anyone, just left to dry. And that's that's a killer. It's one. Imagine going into intermission. It's 1-0. The kid has the first goal. Instead, it's 1-1. You got to come back and grind. It's the intermission. It changes the entire vibe. The first intermission, they could have been like, let's go, let's keep it up, the energy up. Instead, they're deflated, which like they've been all year. Is this 5 in a row or 6?
For losses?
5 losses in a row.
This is 5, I believe.
Yeah, this is 5. Like the veterans in there are just defeated already, and we're 10 games into the season.
Yeah,
they are 2-7-1.
They're already in their own way.
Yeah,
they're already in
the one
their own
thing
way.
they needed this year was a hot start. You know, their plan was to keep the team together. Like, obviously it was. And the one thing that they needed that to succeed, they needed to be in a playoff spot now. They need to be a playoff spot, like not just edging in. They need to be comfortably in a playoff spot by Christmas. And if they're not, you have to sell all your UFAs.
100% you do.
And that's where they're at. And they're fighting. Good teams don't lose 5 in a row.
No.
Name me a cup champion that's lost 5 in a row in their season. Name me a conference finalist that lost 5 in a row the season. Other than I think the Flyers lost 10 in a row once and then made it deep. But like it doesn't happen.
No.
Like, you need to look at the team for what they are and not use the coach as an excuse and just look like. And that's what I'm baffled about the Flames I think they're starting to make better choices. The extension talk has gone away. It's panic and misery.
It's bad, but we have every right to be a little concerned, especially you look at the standings right now. Like, they've got a lot of ground to make up. They're 10 games in. They're one of 3 teams in the Pacific that have played 10 games. They're sitting in second last, only ahead of the Sharks, who are just
have 9 goals in 9 games.
Tire fire. Yeah, 9 goals for, 35 goals against for the San Jose Sharks. But the Flames have allowed more.
Later.
The Flames have allowed more goals than the Sharks have this year. Obviously, they've scored more, but they're still sitting at a negative 16 differential. But anyways, the Flames, who are 2 games, the Oilers have 2 games in hand, have the same amount of points, 5 points. They knock off 2 wins. All of a sudden, they're it's a 4-point gap. But like, obviously, Vegas has got 19 points. They haven't lost in regulation yet. They're not going to be stopped. Vancouver surprising people. The Kings are good. The Ducks, by some miracle, are sitting.
That'll regress.
It will.
That's youthful energy. That
100%. It's not sustainable.
On one. Well, actually, you know what? Pavel Mintyukov has been an absolute revelation for the Ducks. If anyone's following, I know Nate Thomas is out there secretly still loving the Ducks. So
that's JJ's guy too.
Yeah. Mintyukov is he made an absolutely special play tonight. I was watching it at intermission, and the Flames don't have that. Well, they might. Jeremy Poirier could do stuff like that, but he got a cut on his arm, and he's not going to be back for a while. And he's not on the team. Yeah. So you gotta have Jordan Osterley. Gotta have that veteran presence. The Brad Treliving way, still here, still on the bottom line. Like AJ Greer, he had to come. You had to get the veteran. You couldn't use one of your kids.
I don't mind.
Look what happens. What happened tonight. Look what the kid did.
I know.
Look what the kid. And you
the
want
only
Jordan Osterley. You sent Ilya Solovyov back down. Like, use your freaking head.
The only gripe I have with AJ Greer, and it has nothing to do with AJ Greer, is the fact that they brought him over and he's hogging a spot from somebody else in the system who could be there.
When everyone's healthy, like we're down Dubé and who was the other forward we're out tonight?
Ruzicka.
And Ruzicka. When they're back, you're gonna Hunt is pulled.
Yeah.
He's not been doing anything. And then you sit in Greer again. And then at what point? Why'd you bring him? Depth? There's other.
I said that too when they brought him over.
Schwint was right there. You could have tried him, and now all of a sudden
Schwint had a great camp too.
And like they get in their own way. They think they need these veteran defensemen or veteran players, and I'm just like, you guys, try your draft picks. You drafted them for a reason. Give them at least a shot. You don't need to. And this is a youthful league with speed. You don't need these veteran guys that just do every little thing right. Well, the veteran guys aren't doing every little thing right.
No,
they're not. You've lost 5 in a row. Try the kids. Play the kids.
Would you looking back at last season and the way it went and knowing that Sutter's gone now, do you think you'd be like if you went back to the beginning of the season when Huska comes in and we get a little bit more youth, would you be like if looking forward now, would you be like what am I trying to say? Like is it surprising that you're still having to say play the youth right now is what I'm trying to get at?
Well, they said they're going to make a commitment to it. Okay. And they
Mhm.
did. They did. The big thing is you got to remember Ruzicka was also a regular scratch.
Yeah.
And he's a tremendous offensive weapon. Huska recognizes that, and that's why he's been getting the opportunities and the shots he has. I think he had 4 points in 4 games too, like before
Something
he
like
got hurt.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he is producing. He has always been a producer. So them giving him a shot is one thing. Pelche and Coronado would have played had Pelche not get hurt. Coronado fighting it, but I mean they keep switch like I said, they keep moving him around all the time. They need to find consistent top nine line mates for him if they want him to succeed, not centering Dewar and Greer.
No.
That's not going to work. Sharon Govich works there. I know I know he was your big return for Toffoli, but he's working there right now. Put him back.
Right.
Put him back. That was fine. I do like Lindholm, Huberdeau, Mangiapane. That does work. The problem was Kadri wasn't going.
Yeah, he
Zary and
was the
Kadri worked.
anchor on that line.
Zary Kadri worked tonight. So now you can go. You should go Backlund, Coleman, and Coronado. That's where you'll find some space.
Coronado, yeah, Coronado needs a
You'll get
Backlund.
some games. You could go Zary, Kadri, Dubé because you're gonna put him back in, and you're gonna but it should be Ruzicka. Should be Zary, Ruzicka, Kadri, and then Dubé should be on the fourth line.
Yeah,
Dubé should be. He hasn't contributed.
And so what have you done for me now?
I wonder when's this big offensive output coming? Oh, maybe next year. Oh, maybe next year. When's the 25 goals coming? They're not. They're not coming. So why are you force feeding this guy that affects? It's the Sam Bennett effect. Everyone said, "Oh, Sam," and that's who he's getting really compared to. Right? Well, you didn't give him a shot. You know, he didn't produce. It's like no. Whenever Sam Bennett did produce, he gave up as much in his own end as he did to try and get goals. Dubé does the same thing.
Yeah,
if Dubé gets 2 expected goals, he gave up 2.5. And he's sitting there at 45% expected goals. And everyone goes, whoa, why? And his metrics are just tanked, and it doesn't matter who he plays with. He gives up too much. And he's fast and he's got good hands and he can score. Like, do you remember that goal he scored in the bubble playoffs where he came off the boards and just charged the net and talked it in?
Was that in the? Was that the?
I think he was against the Jets.
This Selly?
Maybe no, that was the Blasty game
or whatever. Oh, okay.
That was the Blasty game.
Whatever he was doing.
He came off the boards and he charged the net and he looked like he was a power. Like he just looked like an absolute top 6 forward. And I've been waiting for that. I haven't seen that come back. So, and that's where get your lines consistent.
Yep.
You have that top one works. Backlund, Coleman work. Put the kid with them. Put Sharon Govich back where they belong. Now that Kadri's actually cooking on the basics and shooting the puck better, and you found Zary works with him right now after one game. I mean, it could absolutely
change, but
later. And you get the hands and the size of Ruzicka, go for it. But they need to recognize that Dubé needs removed from the top 9. He's not helping you. He is not. He's a hindrance.
He is a absolute hindrance, and I like the player. I like the guy more than I like the player. I think I want
against him. He's better than 99.9% of people that will ever put skates on.
Right.
Like I'm not saying he's not an NHL player. He's not a top 6 guy. If he was a top 6 guy, he would have started to show and produce like he was going to be a top 6 guy at this point. Can't force feed it and force feed it and force feed it, and then starve to death. It doesn't make sense.
No,
this is one of the youth, and he's not youth anymore. He's 25, 26. Like has he earned his $2.5 million qualifying offer or something? It's around that.
Not right now. No,
he hasn't.
No,
his career highs last year he had 39 points, 38 points,
something along those lines. I don't know off the top of my head.
That was Sam Bennett's career high in Calgary too. Like it's just there's so many similarities, and they've tried him at center and they've tried him at left and right, and it just doesn't work. And tonight we saw that the injection of those youth and those younger kids over these pre-established guys because they're getting paid more, it works. And so, I mean, if they keep losing, they're going to have to sell. And to be honest, you shouldn't just sell the UFAs. You should look at some of the RFAs that have been there a while, or some of the other defensemen that have been there a while, and you got to pick your core, your veteran core of two or three, and that's it, two or three guys, and then fill them with top end draft picks that have top end talent. And
Yeah.
they need to draft better talent and not just pick for size. Now, Honsak was a great pick. Moran was a great pick. Suniev was a great pick. But at the bottom of that draft, it's just you went big. And with Calgary, you can always pick a big guy up off waivers or for a late draft pick after they've developed for 6 years. Like Riley Tuft is a decent fourth line left winger that's 6'6". It's a free agent, I'm pretty sure right now.
Mm-hmm.
So like stuff like that. It's you can find these guys for cheap and give them the runway, and they'll do what you want them to do. Draft for skill, please. Draft high end talented players. Draft TJ Ginla. That's what we want.
Oh my God! Please, another Iginla in the ranks in Calgary. I think everybody would be clamoring for that. Okay. For the people watching, please like, share. We're gonna wrap things up here. Put a bow on it pretty soon, as I stole from Peter Klein. But yeah, as we're about to wrap up, get your press conference questions in too. We're gonna do the Game Over Presser, Game Over Calgary edition. So get your questions in for either myself or Shane. If you got any good Flames questions, any good, hey, it was Halloween yesterday. I know Game Over Toronto did their Mount Rushmore of Halloween candies and chocolate bars and all that stuff. If you got any fun questions like that, we won't skip over any of the fun stuff either, because hey, the Flames are losing. It's not great over here in Flames land in Calgary, and we need something to brighten our days so that I don't have to make missing posters during the intermissions of hockey games.
And it was all nice because the Oilers fans were quiet, and then Sunday happened, and now they're in our ears again. So, like, please, someone do something to save us.
Yes.
Something.
Because the meat and potatoes of tonight's game is the Flames look good for 40. They let their foot off the gas, let the Stars get back into it, and that was inevitably the nail in the coffin. They shot themselves in the foot in the second period. Third period, they were the more dominant team again. I thought for sure that they got goal lead, I think, in the third period, you could say. Jake Onger was standing on his head. There was a lot of really good chances for the Flames. But the meat and potatoes of tonight's game against the Dallas Stars, which, need I remind you, if you live under a rock and are tuning in, it was a loss against the Stars tonight. Another one, 2-7-1. But yeah, get your press conference questions in, and we will do our best to get through some of them. Some of our, not a question, but a statement from Mitch saying Shane is the best guest.
Got you.
Good guy, Mitch. Okay, here's a few questions. We'll start, let's see here. Where did it go? Oh, did trading for Toffoli screw the offense? From E. Alexander. No, I don't think it. I'll go first here. I don't think it screwed the offense. Just because Toffoli was the only real, I'm going to put in air quotes, producer last year. Like, he was really the only one who offense seemingly went through. I don't think just because you eliminate him, it screws with the offense. I just think that nobody else is scoring. The offense was already screwed to begin with.
Don't be fooled by the Jack Hughes effect. Jack Hughes,
yeah, that too,
is amazing.
He's playing with elite talent.
He is literally
in New Jersey.
You know that top end talented player that the Flames fans constantly want? Yeah, that's Jack Hughes. He's up there. He's not just he's not Stamkos Tavares level. He's above that. He's above that right now. Is he Crosby McDavid? No. Is he just below that? Yeah. Yeah, he's right there. He's top end, top 10 in the league. Could say top 5 here come the middle of the season if this continues, in terms of play driving and offense. Like, he is absolutely it. So Toffoli producing at the rate he is, look at the isolated situations.
Yeah.
Don't just jump. Don't just look at the box score. That's why we go beyond.
That's why we go beyond the box score.
And
that's why you call it that.
Yes, because there's other things that matter. And Coronado, didn't get off to the same start. Sharon Govich, I did a breakdown of him when they got him. It was a 20 goal, 35, 40 point guy that could play in your second, third line. Wasn't a top line,
Mm-hmm.
top producing guy. They didn't get that back. He never has been that, nor should he be that. Now the Flames sold it. Obviously, they spun it in a positive way because what else are they going to do? Everyone wanted more for him, but let's be real. No one wants to pay. No one wants to trade for a guy that wants top dollar with his foot speed at his age.
Mm-hmm.
Is he producing? Yeah, and the Devils are going for it. He very well could be a rental for them, but yeah, no, they didn't screw themselves with the offense. Their offense is screwed right now because the guy getting paid the most money isn't producing.
Toffoli's got to be pumped though, eh?
Oh
Contract
man,
year.
you've got
He's
to be
gonna.
absolutely
He's
stoked to go
he's
to
setting
an
him.
absolute contender. They've got Dougie Hamilton and
Well,
Luke
not
Hughes
only
on
that,
defense.
but like this is gonna be his last deal he signs probably after the season, or pretty close to his last deal.
Well, unless he ages like Joe Pavelski, which like nobody does.
No,
Yeah.
no, that guy's just defying father time. But he's gonna cash in his last deal, more
And
than
like
likely.
he's
Not like
honestly
it's not like
his
exponential
his
numbers, but he's
number
gonna.
in Calgary was a lot higher, but like look at what Clogereau got. He would
Mhm.
get less. You're
Yeah,
not a center. You're not a center, and your age and your prediction like 5, maybe 3x5.
that's
Like
still not bad
that's kind of
for
what
your
I
last
would as
deal.
a GM. I'd be like, look, that's a lot of money for a guy your age.
It's
Like
pretty damn
you're
good money.
literally projected to just get worse every year by every statistical measure, and you're not the fastest. So, like, he better cash in with goals and try to get it because this next contract might be bought out.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, let's keep going with the questions here. Jimmy Stew, I see you, bro. I see you. Shout out to my boy Jimmy Stew. I will see you another time. I know exactly who you are now. I've cracked the Da Vinci Code and I figured out who Jimmy Stew is. But on the topic of Jimmy Stew, a question coming in. Where the heck did it go now? I'm losing it. Where? Oh, it's from Mitch. Thoughts on the Ottawa punishment? Harsh as fuck. And poor Michael Andlauer.
I've been vocal about this all day.
That's
All day
fucking
from
harsh,
the minute
bro.
it dropped. How the hell can you punish the Senators? And this is what it said in the conference. It said embarrass the league. Someone came out and said they embarrassed the league. So embarrassing the league is more punishable to the NHL than hiding actual sexual assault.
Mm-hmm. That's fucked.
That's horseshit.
That's fucked
That's
up.
absolute horseshit.
Yeah.
Is what that is. There's no they're just gonna spin it and ignore. You know, they're the master of the 6-hour news cycle, which is what we're in.
Yep.
And if you just wait long enough, some other big story is gonna come out. Whether eventually the Hockey Canada scandal comes out, you're gonna forget about all this.
Yep.
If that drops, you're gonna forget about all this. If something happens somewhere else, it's a 6-hour news cycle. Every 6 hours, since everyone in the world is so glued to their phones, the topic changes. So yeah, we're all mad about this now. Are we going to be talking about this in 2 weeks? Doubtful. And that's the problem. And the NHL knows that. They have smart people that have studied media and stuff like that. And so yeah, they'll just ignore it until it moves on. And that's the problem. That's a real problem because
100%.
Because the Blackhawks, yeah, those guys lost their jobs, but their franchise was allowed to function. They literally sold out a human soul to try and win a cup, and then didn't even put that guy's name on the fucking cup.
Yeah.
Sorry. But like.
No, you're not. The best part about what you just said is that you're absolutely right in every single regard. I don't see, like, sure, the Senators fucked up. Pierre Dorion fucked up. But like,
wow.
is it really? First of all, what the fuck is Vegas doing? Like, really, you're really gonna you just won a cup. Are you really that upset about it, or are you just trying to stir the pot? Like, fuck right off. Who cares?
Well, I didn't like the part about Andlauer not being told these were
that too. That's Bush League from the league as well.
That would have lowered the price.
100% it would have.
The deal with the Ryan Reynolds and group was close to being done. Maybe they told them that, and they backed out or wanted to pay less, and that's why Andlauer was allowed to come in. We don't know. I doubt we'll ever know.
No, probably not, but still.
I also think though whatever Ottawa, whatever Pierre Dorion did had to be worse than we know because the first round pick is a very heavy price. and he immediately lost his job too, like resigned. But I mean,
It
what
it
did you
was
do?
a
Did you
last minute.
intentionally not tell Vegas about this just so the deal would go through?
Did you see something?
There's speculation galore.
Yeah, did you see something about he was the only one on the call from Ottawa? Like,
I know.
I
I
thought I
honestly,
saw something about that.
but like it had to be something bigger than that. It's nuts. There has to. You don't just lose your job because you forgot about a no movement clause. You
No.
intentionally did something or something happened. And this is why when you don't release NHL, when you don't release all your shit, we speculate.
Yeah,
We're
and they
free
never
to
do.
as well.
They're the kings and queens of not
Exactly.
releasing everything.
6 hour news cycle, baby. We're all
That's
gonna
all.
forget about it in a week.
Hopefully in
It's
six
terrible
hours
weather.
it's hopefully in 6 hours it's not more Sens news, because I know my boy Jimmy Stew and the rest
Your
of
brother, your
my
brother's
brother
got
too.
it going through it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, my brother is a big Sens fan, and
Shout out my
him.
my
I'm
Sens friend
glad.
Brady Brooks.
I'm glad that my brother
he's
has Jimmy Stew to
rough.
vent to at work. The only other Sens fan that we know in Alberta. But yeah, that's basically the meat and potatoes of how we feel about that. We'll wrap it up with one last question. Thank you guys for giving us all your 2 cents. There's a lot of good ones here, but we're gonna put a bow on today's episode, and it's gonna be this is from Paul Singh. And first of all, he says, bring Shane on for more shows. So
I just answered him in the chat there.
that's a vote of confidence once again. But his question is, what are your realistic Flames expectations for the rest of the season? And I'm going to sum it up as fast as possible to make it hard.
Realistic expectations? I mean, they're a playoff team, but they're already so far out of it. They'd be lucky to crawl back to about ninth in the conference, which is where they usually finish. They need
Middle
to
of the pack, baby.
They need to recognize what they are, truly make a plan, and then execute it.
That's
Period.
right. Hey,
that's realistic, and that's realistic. Probably not going to happen.
That's probably where I am. Realistic expectation is where you're at. My actual expectation is that they're sellers, and hopefully they eventually come around to the idea of selling pending UFAs and, like you mentioned, RFAs.
If
Cash
they bring
in.
up their kids, they won't bottom out. I mean, that's what you got to remember.
Yeah.
If they do bring up, these kids are talented. Like Zary, Pelche, when they get back and they get going, they're talented. They won't bottom out. They won't be 32nd, 31st, 30th. They'll finish 20 to 24, and they'll get a top 10 pick, and hopefully maybe jump on that 6% lottery chance. But that's about all you're gonna get.
Yeah. No, I agree.
They're not. They need to go on a massive 7-8 game win streak if they want to make the playoffs. They have to, and they have to do it before they run out of time.
Yeah, we can only say
10 games out of your 60 game runway.
You're fucked. All but fucked. And that's a good way to leave it, because this game tonight was fucked. The Flames should have won that one. I would have loved to see the deserve a win meter. I'm going to look at that after. But either way, it's been a blast. It's Flash. Everybody loves him. You guys know where to find him, but I'm going to give him the floor here to plug what he works on and all the good things he's doing over with our friends at FlamesNation, or some friends.
Right now, Beyond the Box Score, every day, 8 a.m. is kind of the time frame. We drop my analytical based review. I look at stuff that's more than just the goals and assists. I dive into high danger chances, expected goals. I provide charts, shot pressure charts, game flow charts, everything. I'm willing to add and expand with comments and pressures. But yeah, right now I'm just writing at FlamesNation. I've started to do weekly and monthly reviews as well, and just really try to sum up and understand what the heck goes on with the Calgary Flames.
Don't we all?
And then try to explain the stupid, complicated numbers in an English manner, so Joe Blow and even my dad could understand it. My dad worked in the oil patch for 35 years. He originally told me
that's
the
a
numbers
blue collar Albertan.
Heebie-jeebie. So if I can explain it in a way or try to help you learn, that's what I want to do. I just want to expand the knowledge and personally just learn more about the game. So,
and the content that you're putting out is incredible, just so everybody's aware.
Thank you, sir.
And they can find you on...
I friggin' this is why we watch Game Over, baby.
Oh.
The Auddie curse doesn't matter.
No curse, no problem.
Too. Like, you guys are kicking it. So
it's
right
a lot
back
of fun.
at you.
It's a lot of fun. Thank you. You can find him on Twitter or X or whatever you call it, at Flash_33.
And Instagram's new BTB_Flash. Give me a follow. I might start doing some IG lives whenever I'm really upset.
Hey, so all the time. That would be
Yeah.
when I would do them. As always, thank you. This has been great. Flames fans, thank you for tuning in. Everybody who was here, the chat was bumping tonight. Let's keep this going. Hopefully the Flames give us a little bit better things to talk about. And then if they do, I'm going to tear this up on a live stream.
Hey,
Until then, I'm keeping it. I might even throw it in the background.
You should add it to the wall. Put
I'm
it
going
over
to.
the Blue Jays thing. They didn't win anything this year. It's
They can't see the Blue Jays thing on the stream, but
my coworker is a Rangers fan, so I'm excited for him tomorrow. So he's
shout out Marcus Semien. Our next game over call is going to be when the Flames play next, which is Saturday against the Seattle Kraken. I will be hosting that one. Joining me is my good pal Julian McKenzie from The Athletic, SDPN, the CJ Show, all that fun stuff. Julian and I are going to chop it up. It's been a minute since him and I have been on the same show together. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a blast. Hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to SDPN if you haven't done so already. If you're listening on playback, give us a rate on your preferred podcatcher. Like it, whatever you got to do on your podcast to make us feel special. Comment, all that good stuff. Appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you on Saturday. Stay safe until then, and we will see you on Saturday. This has been Game Over Calgary, following the Calgary Flames loss to the Dallas Stars tonight. See ya, friends.